is Rockstar Games not telling us the full story about Red Dead Redemption 2 single player? I guess this video will be a continuation talking about some of the reasons why Rockstar Games probably won't even focus on Red Dead Redemption 2 single player, even though Rockstar Games did promise us or said they will be continuing to update the single player for Red Dead Redemption 2. For me personally, I kind of find this a bold statement from Rockstar Games, and we will be looking at some of the reasons why this could be potentially false or a false act on Rockstar's behalf. So with that said, let's jump straight into this Red Dead Redemption 2 video. It all started with a video of Roger Clark talking to some fans. He was answering a lot of questions given to him by some of the fans, asking him about his position at Rockstar Games, what it was like to act and play as the character Arthur, and he was giving us a lot of awesome details on some of the behind the scenes at Rockstar Games, and it all sounded really cool. However, some people did ask him, not exactly about DLC, but simply Roger Clark kind of dived or pointed some words in the direction of a potential DLC add-on for Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, a lot of people jumped on this hype train and started to believe what he said was actually true, and that he was actually hinting towards a story mode DLC add-on for Red Dead Redemption 2, of course. This all started on Mr. Boss for the Win's video, with Roger Clark actually going onto Mr. Boss's video and leaving a comment clearing up this confusion. With all good reason, Roger Clark then confirmed that he wasn't talking about a DLC add-on for Red Dead Redemption 2, and that it wasn't his place to say whether if this was going to happen or not, and that he apologized as well for any confusion, and that Rockstar Games will announce future announcements in their own time. Now, there is a possibility that Roger Clark actually messed up when he was answering the questions and simply probably slipped out some information that he wasn't supposed to really talk about. And with that being said, Rockstar Games could have contacted Roger Clark and said, hey, you gotta apologize and take back what you said, because it wasn't your place to hint towards any potential DLC add-on. So this could also be a possible reason as well why Roger Clark had to quickly apologize. Who knows? I mean, as we know in the past for Grand Theft Auto 5. So you guys are probably wondering, why are we going to talk about Grand Theft Auto 5 now? This has nothing to do with Red Dead Redemption 2. And yes, you were right, Red Dead Redemption 2 has nothing to do with Grand Theft Auto 5. However, Rockstar is still carrying the same business model over to Red Dead Redemption 2, taking it from Grand Theft Auto 5. As we know, back in 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5 released. After a while, people started to ask questions about whether if GTA 5 would receive any potential DLC add-on or any story mode content at all. And then of course it was confirmed by Rockstar themselves that they would be adding more updates and more DLC content to GTA 5 single player. It is now 2019 and yet Rockstar has yet to do that. So if you ask me, in my general opinion, whether if Rockstar Games care about the single player at all, even though they have said time and time again in statements that they love and really care for the single player and they like telling good stories, which in my mind is totally true, because they made an awesome story in Red Dead Redemption 2. In Grand Theft Auto 5, the story could have been a lot better, it could have been shaped better. I just didn't really like it and I didn't agree with the free characters. But however, there was no DLC for the GTA 5 single player, and now that begs the question on whether if Rockstar Games will continue to do the same for Red Dead Redemption 2. And in my mind, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a totally different game, because the online isn't really doing as well. Maybe Rockstar this time around for Red Dead Redemption 2 will consider adding a lot more updates and content to the single player, because there is still a large proportion of people that enjoy the single player. And of course, we can't always give the day of light to the online. So with that being said, Red Dead Online isn't really doing as well. And let's not forget as well, is that it's still in its beta stage. Red Dead Online will be coming out of its beta very soon. And when it does, I would only think that Rockstar will be putting a lot more weight towards the online, the same way as they done with GTA Online. Now, I could be totally wrong in what I'm saying, and All I'm saying is from what we saw in Grand Theft Auto 5 suggests that Rockstar Games want to focus on the online rather than just the single player. And again, it goes back to the statement that Rockstar Games gave us that they will be focusing content for single player in Red Dead Redemption 2, even though they made this statement several times for GTA 5, and of course, it never happened. I believe Take-Two Interactive even came out and said, well, the support is where the online is, and that's where their focus is. And the main reason why that is because, well, it brings them a lot more money into the company, and if it brings them more money, well, then the obvious answer is they will keep pumping content into the online rather than the single player, because single player DLC is really a once-off payment. And if you think about it, you're spending more money in the online by purchasing microtransactions and whenever Rockstar put in new content. And when they put in new content and you simply cannot afford some of the content with the online currency, well, then that makes you think, what if I actually spend real money on the currency and therefore I can afford this new content? So there is an ongoing process in people's minds when they see new content and when they have to work for the money in the game, and then this of course leaves the person no other choice but to spend money on online currency. Whereas some people might rather pay a $40 or $50 once-off payment for DLC content and be happy. To give you guys a classic example, back in 2009 when Rockstar released 2 DLC packs for the original Grand Theft Auto 4. So we had the Battle of Gay Tony and the Lost and Damned, which by the way were 2 awesome DLC expansion packs for Grand Theft Auto 4. And that's just giving you guys an example on when Rockstar Games really cared for DLC content for the single player, and partially the online as well, because, well, it involved multiplayer. So you guys can see that Rockstar Games heavily enjoyed and loved producing single player content back then, even for Red Dead Nightmare. But now unfortunately in this day and age, everything is to do with online. That's where the money is. There is a question here to be asked, whether if Rockstar Games are getting lazy or if they're driven by money, and I would hate to admit it, but it feels like they are really driven by money. So hopefully, with that being said, Rockstar this time will focus on some single player DLC content and to give us some awesome expansion packs for Red Dead Redemption 2. So guys, with that said, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section on whether if you guys think Rockstar Games are secretly trying to avoid making DLC content for their single player games. And as I said, let Grand Theft Auto 5 be the classic example. It's almost time to see whether if it's going to happen yet again for Red Dead Redemption 2. So my guess, or in my mind, is when Red Dead Online comes out of its beta stage, then I think it's time to start looking at the single player and seeing whether if Rockstar Games really do want to add content to the single player. Anyways, I do thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, a like would be awesome on the video. And of course, if you are new, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the latest videos here on the channel. With that said, my name is Dean, and I hope to see you all in the next video.